To optimize a reservoir's performance, it's necessary to have a completion tailored to the reservoir rock and fluids and borehole environment, and specifically with perforations created at optimal wellbore pressure conditions. The pure perforating technique delivers these optimal conditions by creating a dynamic underbalance or transient underbalance just after the perforation cavity is formed. This cleans the perforation tunnel, thereby maximizing production or injection in a wide variety of environments: hard and soft rock formations, oil and gas reservoirs, sandstones and carbonates. Conventionally, perforating is performed under one of two conditions of wellbore versus reservoir pressures, either static overbalanced or static underbalanced. In a static overbalanced well, the hydrostatic pressure inside the casing or liner is greater than the reservoir pressure at the time of perforating. Perforating is a violent process that damages rock during the creation of the perforation tunnel or cavity. Perforating in an overbalanced well tends to force additional debris and well fluids into the perforation cavity, preventing any form of cleanup. As a result, perforations remain damaged when the well is put on production or injection, delivering poor well performance. Conversely, in an underbalanced or static underbalanced well, the hydrostatic pressure inside the casing or liner is less than the reservoir pressure. During perforation in an underbalanced well, there is no fluid invasion into the perforation cavity. Instead, positive flow from the reservoir drags out some of the perforation debris and crushed rock, leaving a cleaner perforation. While this approach can be effective, the technique alone does not deliver consistent results. Through extensive research and testing at Schlumberger, scientists found that perforations could be much cleaner. The cleanup of a perforation is a two-stage process, requiring adequate stresses to be applied to the crushed zone, as well as the creation of underbalance conditions immediately after the perforating guns are detonated. When a transient underbalance is created, tensile and shear stresses are exerted on the crushed or damaged zone, lining the walls of the perforation cavity. These stresses help break up and dislodge the crushed zone. Crushed rock and perforation debris now flows freely out of the tunnel, creating a clean perforation. In a static, underbalanced state, there may not be sufficient stresses created to dislodge the crushed zone, even though there may be flow into the wellbore to remove some of the loose debris. Secondly, it was recently discovered that when perforating in static underbalanced conditions, dramatic fluctuations in wellbore pressure occur immediately after the guns are detonated. In many cases, an overbalanced pressure is observed immediately after perforating in an underbalanced environment. In other words, the initial static underbalanced pressure differential does not govern the perforation cleanup. It's therefore critical to achieve a state of underbalanced pressure immediately following detonation. The result of this effective two-stage cleanup is not just a clean perforation, but also the creation of a wider perforation tunnel than those created conventionally. This leads to greatly improved well productivity or injectivity.